Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine, and today we're going to get back to it and start with some tubes, doing some lat pull down. So set up a tube a little bit higher so you can really pull down and squeeze those shoulder blades, work those large muscles in your back. And then we're also going to need a couple small balls or pillows even. We're going to do some squeezes, a fit ball, and a pair of a little bit heavier dumbbells. So that should be it for today. Remember to come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. Do 5 to 10 minutes of a cardio workout. It doesn't have to be anything intense, just something to get your heart rate up and get your muscles warmed up to avoid injury. Okay, so let's get started with this lat pull down. I do mine seated on the floor so that I can pull down. I've talked about this lots in the past where you want to pull down, not lean back and make it a row. So sitting up nice and tall, keep those shoulders down away from your ears, and you're going to drive your elbows towards the floor, really squeezing those shoulder blades down and together. Your shoulder blades sit like this on your back, and you want to think about bringing them down like this. All right, nice and slowly. Remember, you can always double up bands. You can loop them around each other a few times also, like I could loop this around each other itself a couple times. That would make it a little bit tighter and stronger. Similarly, you can grab a lighter band or sit a little bit closer to make it a little bit easier. 2 more, 9, keep breathing, and 10. Really give it that good squeeze and relax. Okay, now we're going to stay on the floor and we're going to do some leg lifts. So I'm going to move my camera over just a little. This is a great way to work your quad, but not so intensely. And also it's going to get your hip flexors, but it's a good way to work your quads a little bit without involving the knee joint. Your hip joint is involved, but minimally. This is a pretty low impact exercise, but it can be really effective when executed correctly. So I am not going to set my foot down all the way on the ground, and then I'm only bringing it up to line with my knee. So I'm keeping it in that range of motion. The purpose of that is I keep my quad engaged the whole time. So if I bring it all the way up here, my quad gets to disengage and it gets to relax. Similarly, if I set it down, there's a moment of disengagement. So that being said, if this feels really hard to you, then you, of course, set it down just a little bit after a few, and then try to do a few more. We're going to try to do 10. You want that other knee bent, and that helps protect your low back. Nice and slow. That will also increase the effectiveness of this exercise. Okay, switch legs. Keep breathing. You can also get a little bit of bonus here if you want to think about flattening your back to the floor, and that will engage your core a little bit and also protect your low back even more. Nice and slowly. You can just keep that toe pointed towards the ceiling. 6, 7, 8. The more you keep those abs engaged, the more involvement you will get. And 10. You can hear Baloo upstairs barking for attention. Okay, so great. Now we're going to stand up. So make sure you stand up slowly after lying down on your back and doing an exercise. We'll turn over and stand up slowly. If you get to this point and let your head kind of come back to normal, let that blood return. Get that blood flow back up to your head, and then slowly come on up. And we're going to grab your dumbbells. We're going to do some standing biceps curls. Now, if standing bothers you for any reason, you can sit on a fit ball or sit on a chair. Pick up your dumbbells with good form. If you are able, let's do this with a little bit of a balance challenge. So either a staggered stance, a tandem stance, or a single leg stance. Now we're going to go nice and slowly, doing both arms at the same time. Bring it up to your elbow or to your shoulders, all the way back down. Make sure your shoulders go all the way straight at the end range, or your elbows. I'm confusing my joints today. Make sure your elbows go all the way straight. Many times people want to stop here and then come back up. It's a very common thing to do, but really focus on getting that end range, and that trains your muscle through its full range of motion. And then also, you can have them out with the dumbbells parallel like this, or you can turn it into a hammer curl. It doesn't matter. Whatever feels better on your joints. So if one feels better on your thumb or your elbow or your shoulder, just do it that way. It works your muscles a very small difference, but not really a functional difference. So you can do it either way, or you can mix it up. If you don't have any preference because of any joint pain, then maybe do one set this way, turn them this way for the next set. You can kind of mix it up and work your biceps a little bit differently. Okay, next we're going to do some knee and arm squeezes. So you can sit on a ball or sit on a chair. I'm going to sit on a ball. We've done this in the past. You can grab, I'm just going to use my balance disc here and then a small ball. It just doesn't weigh anything. So to begin with, I want to focus on those knee squeezes. So giving it a good firm squeeze. You can hold it for 2 or 3 seconds and then release. And then if you are willing or able, you can add your arms. And that works your shoulders a little and your pecs, so your chest muscles. You can get your fingers involved and work on that ball. And then when you combine the two, remember to keep those shoulders pulled back. You're going to get some more core engagement. So combining all of this is a great way to work on that core as well. Working on those hip muscles and your pelvic muscles. Give it a good firm squeeze. Now you can control how hard you're squeezing it. Once in a while someone will really go after it and they complain about it hurting, so just let off a little. You don't have to squeeze the air out of your ball. Just give it a good firm squeeze where it feels like your muscles are working, and it's you probably getting a little bit tired by now, but not so much that it hurts anything. And if this one hurts your shoulders or your elbows or whatever, you can bring it in closer or just not do this part altogether. Okay, great. Next we are going to grab a ball. I'm going to use this small ball and we're going to do some balance. We're going to do a tip over. So you can use a fit ball as well, or a smaller, a beach ball works really well if you've got one of those, or just a playground ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to tip over. So I want you to tip at your hips. I don't want your back to bend. So I really want you to tip at your hips, keeping your back nice and tall. So what I want you to do is take this ball over your head, and if you can only go this far, that's fine. We'll work on just that. So I want you to do 5 on each leg. Keep your shoulders down and pulled back, keeping a straight line from the top of your head down through that foot that's going backwards. So you're just hinging on that one leg at that hip. All right, now we're going to switch legs. Nice and slowly. I don't allow, many times I'll get somebody here and then they bring their leg out a little bit. I want everything to stay in a good alignment from the top of that ball to down through that heel that's going backwards. So like I said, if you just need to do them small, that's okay. Similarly, if you need more challenge, you can go further, or you can stand on a balance pad or a pillow or something if you need a little bit more challenge, or do a few more, slow them down even more, things like that to increase that challenge. Okay, we're going to end with a plank. So one way to modify the plank is to use like a kitchen chair and put your hands on the outside and then step back. I'm going to do it on the floor and show you a couple modifications there as well. Okay, So we're gonna start right here. You can, if this hurts to do on your wrists, if it hurts to do on your hands, you can also do it on your elbows. Either way, you want your hands or your elbows directly beneath your shoulders. So you don't want them out here. That's more difficult and it's harder on your shoulders. So if this is feeling difficult, you could put one knee down and put the other knee down. Try to keep a straight line though from the top of your head down through your heels. So don't dip your head like this, and similarly don't reach your head up like that. You want to keep a nice straight line from the top of your head down through your heels. Okay, also you could do it from your knees like this. All right, good. Sitting back in a child's pose after a plank feels really good. Stretches out those shoulders, stretches out your back. And then you can continue on and do those through again. So do them through 2 or 3 times total. You can add some cardio in between. Do 5 to 10 minutes, getting your heart rate back up so that your heart rate stays up throughout the whole workout, giving yourself a really efficient workout. And then also at the end, make sure you cool down and do some stretching. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next time. Thank you, everybody.